back at the Kukai Foundation urban area. I believe this is the person I need to talk to. It is. And there is a reason why I'm doing this before any of the robot stuff. I'll tell you that right now. Oh dear, what's the problem, you ask? Well, a long time ago, I put a time capsule in the place where I was working. I was looking forward to opening it decades later, but circumstances have made it impossible for me to get back to where I hid it. To put it simply, I forgot where I hid it. Where in the world did I put it? Oh, I know. Your timing is perfect. How about searching for the time capsule for me? Indeed, I will. Thank you so much. My memory's just not what it used to be. Looks like you got a dent on your head. I think that's what did it. It was at a factory. That's all I can remember. At any rate, if you find me that time capsule and bring the contents to me, I'll give you an unbelievable reward. Yeah, we don't have access to the factory just yet, but we will indeed try to give him a high five. I think that's what he's going for here. We can't actually complete that just yet. There is more that we need to do in order to unlock the factory area where the time capsule is, but since he is available to us now, we can go. Actually, what am I doing? Let's go a quick away here. We should talk to him so that when I do get to the factory at some point, I can just kind of open things up and grab it. What we need to do now that we have opened up yet another GS Path quest that we're not going to complete, just like Captain Matthew's debt. I'll go ahead and spoil it now. The reward for Captain Matthew's debt is Jin's swimsuit, which is why I don't have it equipped at all times right now. Yeah, that's the reason. Why? Alright, we need to head back to the launch area here. And hopefully we will find the GS Path quest that we can actually accomplish. Now, there are still quite a few things that I want to talk about with this game. I believe it's you I need to talk to, actually. No, you're Theodore. Pretty flower bloomed. I wish I could see it too. Is it you then? Henry? Wait. No, it's not Henry. Oh, wait, you? No, that's Natalie. I thought so. Hugo just goofs around all day. Where is he? Oh, it's you, the last little kid that I wanted to talk to. I know it was a little kid, but it is indeed the last one that I wanted to talk to. Oh, I'm a little depressed because of my poor performance on that awful quiz game, Destroy Runner Revenge. I once prided myself on the fact that I was the quiz king, but that game is too much for me. I am beaten. I am defeated. I am ruined. Do you think you could go beat that game to avenge me? Totally. Oh, thank you for accepting my request. And now we get to play trivia. My favorite. I'm actually pretty damn good at trivia, in case you haven't noticed already. Then I shall entrust you with my secret treasure, a free play token. You obtained a free play token. I wish you the best of luck. Proceed to the Foundation and exact revenge for me. There are pretty much 3 things that I wanted to talk about today, all of which being games. There are 3 games that I wanted to talk about today. The first one being Xenosaga Freaks. Now, this is a game that was released on the PlayStation 2 in Japan only. As a result, I don't really know what's in it. There's no translation, as far as I can tell, online at all. I've seen summaries of it, but based on the summaries that I read, Xenosaga Freaks is not necessarily worth playing. I don't know, maybe it's just me. It talks about kind of this escapade that Cosmos and Alan kind of go on, and from what I understand, a lot of people don't even consider it canon. So that's one game, Xenosaga Freaks, so I don't have too much to say about that game. The second game I wanted to talk about before we head let's actually head inside. The second game I want to talk about is a game that I have read a translation for, but that's all I could find for it, and that's Xenosaga Pied Piper. Now, Xenosaga Pied Piper is a visual novel that was only released in Japan, but because the story is canon to Xenosaga, somebody has translated it. So I will link that translation in the description below if you want to read it. And I'll talk more about that probably in the next set of videos to try to give you guys time to read it if you want to. It's not too long. Like I said, it's a visual novel. It took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to read through it. It primarily focuses on, it's Ziggy's past. It takes place in Ziggy's past, back when he's young, sour, and pretty much goes over how he became Ziggy. But it also talks about Voyager, who he cursed the name of in the final cutscene of this game. So in case you're curious about Ziggy and his backstory, check out Xenosaga Pied Piper. Once again, a link to just pretty much a few web pages with text that kind of translate the game. Once again, it's a visual novel. Feel free to check that out. The third game I want to talk about before we go here is Xenosaga 1 and 2, and this was released on the DS, the Nintendo DS, which is kind of weird that they would jump across companies like that. It's kind of a retelling of the Xenosaga story. A lot of the facts are the same, but there are distinct differences between the two versions of the stories. I will not be doing Xenosaga 1 and 2 as a full Let's Play, especially not before Xenosaga 3. I may go back and revisit it at some point, because I've never actually played Xenosaga 1 and 2, which is one game, believe it or not, on the DS. I've never actually played that game, so I can't say all the differences. I'm kind of curious about it. I may at some point in the future go back and play it, but as for now, I'm just going to move on after Xenosaga 2 to Xenosaga 3, and we'll finish out the series and not try to revisit a retelling of the story. A lot of things are the same, but some things are different. Like they do actually introduce the Patriarch in the Xenosaga 1 part of that game, instead of just having him show up here in this game kind of out of the blue. That's more that I'll talk about later. Anyway, we have a game to play. Use the free play token. I don't know why I chose there to talk about that stuff, but I did. All right, token inserted, ready, go. How many UMN communication booths are there at the Milsha Spaceport? I do have notes for this. There's no way I know all this off the top of my head. There are 4. Correct. Moving on to question 2. The model number on the red Encephalon dive seat at Vector's 2nd Division is VR what? How the hell am I supposed to know that? I haven't been paying that much attention. But it's 2000. Correct. Moving on to question 3. What's the ship number on the direct flight launch to the Foundation? It is 8. Could have done it the faster way, but whatever. 8. Moving on to question 4. Iron Man's mascot is Iron 4. Correct. Moving on to question 5. The publishing agency on Milsha is the Area 40. Correct. Moving on to question 6. What's the address written on the wall of the Foundation? Something Lone Street. Like, they just ask you to memorize some of the strangest things for this. It's basically, let's go re-explore the game. That's what this is, but it's 229. Correct! Moving on to question 7. Not including Axel, how many employees work at the Smile Bakery? It's quite a bit, isn't it? No, it's only 3, actually. Just 3. Correct! Moving on to question 8. The number on King's Warehouse is East, isn't it? East 6? This one I know. I actually knew this one. It is East 6. Hey, I got one. Correct! Moving on to question 9. How many mice are there in the attic of the cleaners on the Foundation? This would be 10, though. Correct! Moving on to question 10. How many seats are there on the bridge of the Elsa? That is a good question. There are actually 5 seats. Yeah, they just kind of want you to go back and check. That's why you get a free play token. Correct! Moving on to question 11. There are 20 questions in total here. This is ridiculous. If you add up the letters in the names of the Durandal and Elsa, how many are there? That one you could just sit there and figure out for yourself, but it's 12. Correct! Moving on to question 12. It threw me off that I gave an answer of 12, and then we moved on to question 12. How many bookshelves in the Izuki residence can you actually move? In total, you can move 82 of them, and I moved them thousands of times. Correct! Moving on to question 13. In the room with the most containers in the Damarung's restricted area, how many are indestructible? 4. Correct! Moving on to question 14. Yeah, there's no way I would have the patience to actually look at each one of these. Thank God for the internet. How many red Vector logos are painted in Vector's second division? Oh, this I would miss 3 of them if I went to check. There are 10 total here. Correct! Moving on to question 15. What's the number printed on the train that runs through the Durandal? That would be quite complicated, and it's not an easy one at all. This is a dick move. It is 25612, especially in this game when we haven't done that very much. We don't run through the Durandal all that much. Correct. Moving on to question 16. King claims to be the man who controls the Foundation from behind the scenes. How old is he? Oh, jeez. So, if you didn't complete the GS Path quest, good luck with this one. He's 34, though. Question 17. The name of the dock area stop on the Durandal is Dock what? This would be 1. Am I looking at that? Yeah, question 17, 1. Correct, thank God. How many of the mass-produced 100 series observational units on the Durandal can you talk to? Good God. You would think there'd be more than that, but there's 9. There's just 9. I think in the first game there were more than that on the bridge alone. Okay, number 19. How many tables does the Ironman currently have? There are 7 tables there. Finally, question number 20. If you add the numbers from the answers to questions 1 through 19 of this quiz game, what do you get? Fuck you. Not only do you need to know the answers, you need to write down the answers as you go along so that you can answer question 20. How big of a dick move is that? The answer, though, is 28020. I should probably do it in order, and that would help me out. The answer, once again, is 28080. Correct! You've answered every single question correctly. A new quiz champion is born. And we've done it. So we head back to the launch area, and hopefully Simon will give us a good reward for this. Honestly, I don't know what the reward is. But that is that done. Like I said, that part is kind of weird because it only applies to Xenosaga 2 because the answers would be different if you were playing Xenosaga 1. Like the 100 series realities on board the Durandal, that number would be, 30 in the first game? But in this game, it's only 9. It's weird. They do make changes in this game, and that's something that I have noticed, and everybody else has noticed, let's be honest, that the tone of the game changes. This is a little bit darker than the first game. And it's also a lot faster, but I'll go over that more later. When we have time, and we'll have plenty of time, I'm sure. Stupendous! You beat the game marvelously, didn't you? Yeah, this was me as a kid, except I never asked anybody else to do it. I fought my own battles, Simon. With this victory, I have repaid that machine for the humiliation I suffered. I know it's not much, but please take this as a humble token of my appreciation. And we obtained an EMAX 300, which is an ES accessory. How the hell did Simon get a hold of an ES accessory, and where the hell was he storing it? I still have much to learn. I shall dedicate myself to the way of the quiz. Yeah, that wasn't really a quiz. That was just an exercise in patience. and commitment. That's what that was. Okay, so for that, we got ourselves... I think I need to do... I can't even look at my... It's occurring to me now. I can't even look at them, can I? I can't even look at what the EX, whatever, the Max 3000 does, because I don't have my ESs with me, so I can't even see what I have for them. Damn it, Simon, I hate you right now. But I think that the EMAX 300 allows your EP to go to 300 instead of 200, which I probably won't even be using. But now that we have completed that, let's take a look at the GS Path file here and see what we have done. We are ever so close. That was GS Path number... Actually, there we go, 24. I have invested too much of myself in trivial knowledge. I shall remember now to have more fun. That's not what you said last time I talked to you. Simon, the quiz genius. He might be smart for his age, but getting upset like that just because he didn't know some trivia is pretty childish if you ask me. It's just a game, right? But you answered all those questions like a pro. I only got 5 of them right. You are the trivia master now. Indeed, I am. Let's take a look at our citizen profile for Simon. He should be around here somewhere. There he is. He's 12. He's a small 12. This kid really was me. Holy crap. His hobby is solving riddles, even though riddles is different than trivia. Riddles, you don't usually sort out, you just memorize. This trivia master was stumped by the Foundation's quiz game, so he's looking for some help. Indeed, he was. Actually, I do want to point out how far along the GS path we are now. So let's take a look at my achievement. We have all but 2 started here, right? 28 and 36 have not been started. And of the ones that we have started, the only ones that we have not finished are 32 and 21. 21 we can't access just yet. And 32 is the captain's debt. That might be the last thing I do in this game. Good God, that is going to take forever. But there is one more thing that I wanted to do. Actually, I think it's a couple more things. But what I do need to do is head back to Proto-Omega, the Omega system. Well, not Proto-Omega, the Omega system. Proto-Omega is the boss there. We're going to go back to the Omega system. And we'll see what changes have been made since we were last there. Back on board the Elsa, let's talk to Captain Matthews and head back to the Omega system, which is actually spelled out here instead of just having a little symbol. Okay, Tony, hit it! And we are off. Let's see, now that we have beaten the game, how calm this area is. Actually, it looks the same. I actually accidentally came back here and I was hoping they would replay the scene. Apparently they did not. So we are going to return to the Elsa. Last time I came here, they actually showed the little clip, which was exactly the same as we saw last time with the explosions in the background. Sorry I didn't get that on screen this time, but I didn't actually want to move on to the Omega system just yet. We will head there next time. That is going to do it for these parts of Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 2. Probably bonus episodes. I haven't figured out what I'm going to title them yet. Hope you guys have enjoyed these parts. I've been Baller Scuba. I've been joined, as always, by our GS Path almost completing squad of Cosmo, Shion, and Jin. Hope you guys have enjoyed these parts. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.